Women's Day celebrations are taking place at the Union Buildings in Pretoria. SABC News reporter Nozintombi Miya is there. Let's cross to her. A very good afternoon to Nozintombi. Just take us through what's happening at the moment and what you're seeing around you.
Thank you so much, Nzinga. You know where we're standing now? We're standing at the Union Buildings, and it's been such a hive of activity this morning. We actually started at Sammy Marks, about 2 kilometers away from where we are now, and that started off with an all-policing, an all-female policing platoon made up of Metro Police, South African Police, correctional services, as well as the crime prevention wardens, making their way all the way up from Sammy Marks precinct up to Union Buildings. And obviously this is them following in the footsteps of the women of 1957 who made their way from Sammy Marks all the way to Union Buildings to hand over that petition fighting against the systems, the then apartheid systems, past laws. And where I'm standing right now, I just want to move out of shot so my camera colleague Gabi can show you, is that once the main event has happened, once the main commemorative speeches have happened, there is an exhibition, a book exhibition that is taking place that the president as well as the high-level delegation will be coming to and having a look at. And you'll see behind me, you'll see some of the exhibitors here behind me showcasing some of their wares here. There's even a little PlayStation for children to play at. So you can see that this program itself, a women-centered program on National Women's Day, is a program that has been very, very well thought out, and all the T's have been crossed and the I's have been dotted. I have with me Nzinga, one of the young authors that is also showcasing her books here. Thank you so much for joining me, my dear. What's your name?
My name is Tshwane.
Thank you so much for joining me, Purufero. I see that you have this wonderful book here. Just tell me a little bit more about what this book means and how you were involved in this book.
This book is called Kanombuya. It's a Venda poetry anthology. Kanombuya simple means a great harvest. So it was published by Rotenda Gawi and Ndibo Mabonyan. I am one of the authors that wrote 5 poems in this book. And my poems, most of them, they're about empowering and encouraging. Yeah. And I find the relevancy of this book because there is a poem called Mufumakazi, which means woman. What I was trying to say in that poem, I was trying to empower women of today, telling them no matter how you look, no matter how your body shape is, you are determined to make the change. No matter what the community and people might be pulling you, you have to stand on your grounds and commemorate the women of 1956 by doing good deeds.
You sound so passionate. How old are you?
I'm just 22 years old.
22 years old, and you already have a poem that has been published. Not just a poem, but a poem in your language. How do you feel about that? I'm sure your family must be quite proud.
Yes, I feel like I'm going to be one of the greatest women in South Africa. The fact that I'm just 22 years old and I have got the published poem that is able to empower other women, I am so proud of myself. And each and every day when I see this book, I feel like I am living my dream, because from a tender age I've been telling myself that I'm gonna change the world through my words and through my action and through my beliefs.
So you're gonna change the world one word at a time. Thank you so much there. This very book here by this young author, and we have a special surprise here. We have a young lady here. How old are you, my darling?
I'm turning 23 this year.
23. What's your name?
My name is Professor Amura Ozi.
And you have a copy of this book. Why do you have a copy of this book?
Because today it's a Women's Day and it's all about us. And I'm interested in buying this book, and I'm inspired by her.
Why this book? Why are you interested in buying this book?
Because today is a Women's Day and it talks about women, and I'm very interested in buying this book. Yes.
Is there a poem in the book specifically that you want to see? What is it?
Mfumakazi.
What does it mean?
Mfumakazi means women, and since today it's all about women, and I'm very interested in buying the book, and it's all about us. Yes.
So what message do you have for young people, before I let you go, what your message do you have for young women in this day and age about living their dreams and seizing the opportunity?
As a woman, no matter what you are going through, we are in Bogota and will continue fight for us in the years.
Thank you so much. Here's the book. Here's the book. Thank you. Thank you so much. And that's not the only author we have. We also have another author as well here who's showcasing her books. Could you just tell us what your name is, my dear?
Masedi, Gogo Masedi, Nomkhubulwane, Africa.
Gogo Masedi, we spoke a little bit just before we went on air. Just tell me what your book is about and why it's so important.
It is about my spiritual journey. It's about my calling. So from childhood, what is it that happened to me? To show that I actually had a gift until the actual calling.
Yeah.
And so it's just my experiences.
Yeah.
And also I share a lot of information that I couldn't find. And I talk about the different spirits that exist that I had and I couldn't find help understanding.
Yeah. So speaking of help, we do know that the president as well as the high-level delegation that's here will be making their way here to the stands. What message are you hoping to impart to them about the need to open up spaces for women and to provide women places where they can go get help, regardless of whatever the issue is?
I think essentially it's just I think we need to we as a society we need to raise more awareness on the cultural traditions that we have missed. There's a lot of stages that we have to go through as a people, and I think without those stages these things causes problems for us when we get to adulthood. Boys becoming men, we expect that men will be able to run homes and we'll be able to stay in marriages, and women as well, but then we've lost certain things that were supposed to happen when these boys were young. Okay, so when they become men, there's a lot of expectation, and as
how do they become men when they were raised in mostly single female homes? Such a poignant point.
Yes, and there's a lot of emphasis that is put on women and girls becoming women, how we need to, be ready for marriage, what we need to do, and all of this.
Yeah.
And yet with men, boys, there's a lack of this. But anyway, the book just talks about, my experiences and an inward expansion that really cultivated the growth that I needed.
So before I let you go, women authors in South Africa, especially black women authors in South Africa, the numbers and percentages of authors are quite grim. What prompted you and what moved you, aside from your journey, what gave you the courage to get up and put pen to paper and come up with this beautiful book here?
I think
very quickly before we close.
I think for me it's spiritual attacks, to be quite honest with you. It really, some people actually end up losing their lives. They commit suicide because they are not finding the help that they need. And in terms of me as a woman, for me it's I see that now there's a lot more women coming up to the front. But I think we need to encourage women in general from childhood to try and pen down their experiences and what they see and their visions.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Going to leave it there. Thank you so much. But Nzinga, you're kind of sort of getting the point that these young women, these women here today are trying to raise. The reality is that the publishing sector in South Africa is quite a vast sector, and women make up just over 50%, but black women in the publishing sector make up less than 10%. And it is critical at points like this and at events like this where showcases are available, that young women who have put their experience, have put pen to paper and have published books, do come and showcase those books, where they will get the opportunity to get exposure and also be able to share their stories with influential people that such as the people that are here at this commemorative event. So you see that while the actual formal program of the event is ongoing, and it is looking at honoring the struggles and the plight that was done by the women of 1957, it also looks towards assisting the women of today, the aspiring writers, the aspiring publishers, to also say that they too can break through those barriers that they face in a specific sector that has been a challenge for them to be able to break in. But we do know that the program is about to get underway, and as that program continues, the expo will be continuing, and we will be speaking to some of the people that are here just to get more voices from people and to get different perspectives on how the day is progressing and the key challenges that are on the minds of women of today in Nzinga.